Hey guys, welcome back to Come Style Reviews. I'm TJ, and I don't know if I'm sick or what's going on, but my voice is going out, so apologies in advance for any crack and changes of inflection, etc. etc. What we're trying to take a look at is the Bandai Tamashii Mix Giga Armor series, Megaman X. It's this guy. Second to the left, he is about 5.5 inches tall on the dot, actually. So I wanted to go ahead and knock out the comparison first. So left to right, True Force Collectibles Megaman X Giga Armor. This is the Sentinel 4-inch Nell, as well as the D Arts. And it's kind of weird because when I first got the True Force Collectible, just best, awesome, just everything. It was my dream, Mega Man X, etc., etc. But kind of having it next to more, I guess, anime or toon accurate Mega Man. I like the design and the concept that it's going for, but it's not my favorite to look at. Reason being is mostly because of the face. I prefer that more anime or traditional anime face, and even though this is anime, it's more long, slender, different styled eyes, etc., etc. It looks a bit more, I guess, alien or humanoid than the rest of these do. I prefer that traditional look in terms of being, I guess, a throwback to Mega Man X, as well as having a bit of a more futuristic, I guess, current stylization to it. I'm gonna go with the Tamashii Mix, actually, the Giga Armor. I really like how it has that broken up look. For those of you who aren't aware, it's a lot similar to what they're doing with the upcoming Mazinger Z movie. I believe that's like January or February of next year, so that's coming up pretty soon, as well as a Metal Build toy from, of course, Bandai Tamashii for that as well. But it seems like this kind of look in general may be the direction that Bandai, Nagai, etc., it may be the new trend, you know? So start collecting things on the ground up. But here's that comparison that I know people wanted, knocking that out at the very beginning. Again, this is going to be a review for the Bandai Tamashii Giga Armor series, Mega Man X, and let's get that started. And here we go. In the box, it comes with, of course, Mega Man X. It's the Rush. It's Jagd. So I don't know if that's supposed to spell out jagged or just be the initials, Jagd, but that's what they call the Rush. In the Mega Man X series, there was no Rush, so it's kind of cool to have them included. This also turns into a ride chaser using these armor pieces here, and these armor pieces, of course, go on to Mega Man X to have an armored up mode. We'll go through the transformations of both, but first we're going to take a look at a picture just laying out all of these accessories. Besides the stand, that's not pictured there, but be right back. Alright, and again, Mega Man X, 5.5 inches. Give you all a roundabout here. And in terms of price, I got mine from Ame for about $120 shipped, DMS, or DHL actually. Bit of a better look at the details here. And again, I really, really like what they did with this. Just looking at the posability here, or articulation, up, down. Now, I don't know if that's a ball joint, and this is a Chigoken figure, so this does have the die-cast skeleton as well as joints. The only part I don't like about this, I guess aesthetically, is that the hips are exposed there and they're kind of spindly. But I believe there's some die-cast in these pieces too, these calf pieces, leg armor, whatever you want to call them. They do have that cool die-cast feel, so yeah, but it is a Chigoken figure. But up, down, don't know if that's a ball joint. It seems like it's more of a just swing joint there, but it does have full 360 there. Maybe I don't know. But there's an additional joint where the neck meets that clavicle area. He does have that upper ab crunch. Really nice flexibility of the shoulders there. I do wish that the shoulder armor pieces were able to swing up to let those I guess, to move out of the way of the shoulder and give him that full, I guess, what is it, parallel upswing there, but it doesn't. Alright, see, single jointed elbows, 90 degrees. Rotation of the wrist, no inward, outward, any kind of swing or anything like that. And I'll show you why in a second. He does have waist swivel. Now he has some waist swivel here too, but it's just really tight with that piece there. But he does have additional ab crunch as well. So he actually has 3 levels of ab articulation. Now, I guess mediocre swing. It goes pretty good to the front. Oh, limited in the back. The knees are double jointed there. Although the first joint doesn't get a lot of swing there. Does have thigh swivel. Decent knees or ankle tilt. You can see the ball joint there. And then he does have that movable foot there as well. Alright, now the coolest thing about this is regular mode. I've never seen this on an X figure, but all you have to do to convert to blasters is swing like so. And both hands do it too. So put that part up. Up. And unfortunately, the only hands that he comes with in terms of additional hands are the same ones, balled fists with a hole in them, so he can grip the handles on the ride chaser. I wish he came with like open hands and stuff like that. That would have been cool. But okay. There's his blaster, or even, you know, his traditional blast pose where he's got one hand palming or cupping the other forearm while it's blasting. That would have been cool. But just in terms of getting him into a pose here, I wish he had a bit more ankle tilt too. It's passable, but could have been better. There you go. And just show something to show off the knee bend there. Alright. And here's Rush. I'm just going to call him Rush instead of trying to figure out if that's an abbreviation or a word. That J-A-G-D. Pretty neat. Definitely an updated, heavy stylization to him. But since I'm adjusting them anyway, I might as well go over the articulation. So, you can see the ball joint there. There's no up and down swivel or anything like that, so that ball joint just, you know, not necessarily be careful. It pops off easily if you move it the wrong way, so there's not really anything to screw up or break, but, you know, that's about the extent of his head movement. But what's cool, they have kind of a cleft there to make opening his mouth easier. That would be a nice thing if that caught on and became a regular for pieces with open mouths and stuff like that. Even on that Solvachikoken Megazord or Daisugen, that would have been nice on the Triceratops. Now there are ball jointed shoulders there on all 4 legs. He does have that swing front and back, as well as the paws here moving. So, you know, instead of going for a more pounce type, just make him sit. And again, there's Rush. Now we'll go ahead, get this guy transformed, and start looking at some of the other modes for this guy. Close it out. Alright. And here's the Ride Chaser. I'll say straight out that this is my preferred mode for the using the armor. And the hands just pop on with ball joints, so I'm gonna put the hands on first. And I've got Megaman X here. And it's not the prettiest seating job in the world. That is how it's supposed to go, but you know, does the job. Actually get a different angle here. Bring the camera down some. Alright. Got a roundabout here. And it's pretty cool. I like that it comes with a stand and stuff like that. Definitely makes for a good display. I like the look of it. And here's the armored up mode. Transformation is kind of a pain in the ass. So 5 1/4 inches tall adds a quarter of, or 3/4 of an inch. 5 3/4 of an inch tall. It actually adds a quarter of an inch to the regular mode. And for all intents and purposes, it looks good. I think it actually looks really good. Just the functionality of it and stuff like that, particularly in the shield and the backpack. Just the falling off and stuff does not work for me. And Bandai, they've been doing toys, particularly like Giga and high-end toys and things like that for some time. And I understand that this is a new line, but things like friction and parts being able to hold together and stuff like that, I feel like that's pretty basic. And I don't know what their playtesting QC and whatnot is, but it just doesn't seem to be of too crazy high of a standard if you've got parts popping off at like the littlest tap and things like that, or even while you're putting it together and stuff. That's just, it's a slop job. It's shoddy work. So, alright, we will go ahead and try to get this into a half decent pose on the gallery, of course, kumastyle.com, full pictorial review. This was a pain in the ass trying to pose around with. it doesn't lose too crazy much in terms of articulation. The armor's just son of a bee. See, and even right now the shield, you know, it's attempting to come off. Got the shoulder armor popping off there, so let's take the backpack off. It's just too much. It's hassle. And at the end of the day, high-end or not, you know, it's still a toy. Future model stuff, which is about as high-end as it gets, especially when it comes to, you know, that Goken diecast set. That's as high-end as it gets, you know? And it doesn't give me the hassle of this toy. And that's stuff that you kind of want to wear gloves with when you touch it. So this is unnecessarily fidgety. It's just junk. And it sucks because every other mode, in my opinion, is very good. Very good. Very well done. Like, why is the shield not made to hold in? You know, it's... yeah. I don't know what their plans are in terms of characters and whatnot, but in general, if this is the main gimmick of the line, which it seems to be because it's in the title, it needs to be very much so looked at in terms of its functionality. Because as it is right now, it's junk. It's absolutely not acceptable. It took damn near 3 minutes to get into what I'd call a shitty pose. So that's that. Alright, and another thing about the armor, which I have to say, even though it's frustrating, it's not all negative, because even though the armor is supposed to look a certain way, you can mix and match the armor, so you don't have to have the backpack on and whatnot, or the wings, or even carrying the shield and things like that. You can kind of do what you want to make it more playable for yourself. There's a lot of creativity that you have in the armor being kind of piecemeal as it is. This is it's like a crossbow mode, which I think is really cool as well. Obviously, it's meant for that angle that I originally showed it at. Or just one-handed, but to make him look like he, you know, was holding it with both hands or whatever. I don't know why I didn't center the thing. Alright, so there's that. Again, this has been the Bandai Tamashii Mix Giga Armor Series Megaman X. This is the first in the line. Of course, it comes with Megaman X, who's armored up here, as well as Rush. Check out the full written and pictorial review on kumasao.com. I know this has been a longer review. Thank you very much for sticking through it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Sorry that I wasn't more, I guess, excited about this one, particularly in the armored mode, but it's disappointing to me, and I'm not here to really sell toys or be dishonest with you. I'm just kind of sharing stuff that I've bought with you guys. For you, those of you who didn't know or don't know, I actually do photography for companies and this and that. YouTube is kind of just a thing I do because I have a camera. Where I'm at is somewhere different. But again, this has been another Kumasao review. Kumasao.com. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and see you next time.